Hello viewers, today for the initial checkout we have a Vtech telephone with digital or Digitan answering system. This is a DECT 6 model and the number is DS6221-3. So I suspect this probably was a 3 handset system at one point, but I have no idea where the other 3 handsets are. They did not come to me with this system. Intercom, let's see. Intercom to 2. It's not going to work. Okay, anyway, so this is a DECT 6 model, and it's kind of an interesting model, or at least I thought it was kind of interesting because it seems like it's a very early DECT 6 model, and it's very reminiscent of the later 5.8 gigahertz ones that they made. It has kind of a dumb design with the buttons. It's got the paint on them. It's painted plastic, and so of course it's going to wear off as you use the telephone. What they should have done is done what Uniten did, it put a clear plastic over it, or just colored the plastic deep in, then it wouldn't be doing that. It's not in terrible condition. There's some scratching on the back, and there's something wrong with the battery cover. It's not staying in place. These 2 tabs here are kind of like bent down. I'm wondering if perhaps I can just bend those back up and remedy the issue. Or perhaps the cover is just spoiled, I don't know. Oh, there we go, perfect. That's fixed. The battery is the battery pack number BT18433. The nickel metal hydride chemistry, the 2.4 volts to 500 milliamps. And unfortunately it was made in China. But it probably still works. These batteries, these green ones, seem to hold on for a long time, and the batteries in these phones seem to last a long time in general. They have good charging circuitry. On here the model number is listed as DS6221-3, so definitely it's probably a 3 handset system. Yeah, the battery cover is going on there fine. I always liked how it had the Vtech logo on the back of the battery cover. You know, so when it's sitting on the table you could see it's Vtech. No belt clip, no headset jacks. It's probably a pretty basic model. It's got speakerphone on the handset. The screen is quite long, or tall, much more so than usual. It's got 3 lines of text, and then it looks like 1 line for date and time and 1 line of symbols. So it can display quite a bit of information at once. Oh wow, it's got in fact 5 lines of text. The date and time are not a set character string, those are dot matrix lines. Well, they're not quite dot matrix, but it's the same concept. Let's go into the call log here and see what we have. Calls almost every single day, a couple of calls a day. Definitely got quite a bit of use out of it. The last calls came in on 9/6. We're in 11/1. This was purchased a week or 2 ago, so I suspect this was in service up until fairly recently. Let's go ahead and delete all those calls out of there so we don't have one show up on the video. Press select to confirm. This isn't picking up too good on the camera. It's not the greatest in person either. In fact, I find it easier to read once the backlight turns off, because the backlight gives the liquid crystals kind of a dark blue appearance to them, and then the background of course is light blue, and so the contrast is very poor. With the screen, with the backlighting off, I find it quite readable. They really made good use of this this bigger screen. Oh, this has different ringers. I guess not many different ringers. Nice bold font on there. No messages.
To play, press 2. To record, press 7. Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Okay, so it's just a stock greeting on there still. That's fine. 4 will be adequate for the video. I'll turn that on just so we can hear what it sounds like. I don't normally use that. Alright, let's record a memo.
Record after the tone. Press 5 when you are done.
I am now recording after the tone and I'm done, so I'm going to press 5.
Recorded.
Okay. There's no phone line connected, which we know that. So let's go ahead and connect the phone line. Bit of excess cord here. I should have gotten rid of that before the video started. Oh well, these productions are not, you know, Hollywood grade polished performances here. Okay, so it's connected now. Let's go ahead and call this thing up and see what it sounds like. Is the answering thing on?
Calls will be answered.
It was not on, now it's on.
Hello. Please leave a message after...
Whoops. I was trying to turn the volume down.
You have...
Does this have a call screen setting?
You have 1 new...
It's not what I wanted. No, I don't see it. Alright, I'll just have to turn the volume all the way down.
You have 1.
There may be a way to shut it off completely, I don't know. I'll have to look at the manual. It probably can't be turned off. A lot of them don't let you turn it off.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Testing, testing, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 55, the 27, 48, 262. This is a test of the Vtech DECT 6, Digit or the digital answering system, which is the Energy Star. Ooh, Energy Star, great. Over and out. taking some time to release the line. There it goes. We got a 2, and in use is flashing for some reason. Oh, because this is still... and that's why it took a while. Okay. There's the answering machine indicator beep.
You have 2 new messages. Monday, 4:20 p.m.
I'm now recording after the tone, and I'm done, so I'm going to press 5.
Wednesday, 12:01 a.m.
Testing. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 55, the 27, 48, 262. This is a test of the Vtech DECT, digit 10, or the digital answering system, which is the Energy Star. Ooh, Energy Star. Great. Over and out.
End of messages.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That sounded pretty decent. It had that very distinct AT&T Vtech answering machine sound that a lot of the 5.8s did. Not quite as strong as some of the 5.8s and some of the early standalone machines from like the early 2000s and somewhere in that range. Not a bad answering machine for what it's worth. A lot of times these Digitan ones sound pretty bad, and this wasn't great, but I would say it's at least average or slightly above average. Let's play it back from the handset and see if it sounds any better.
You have 2 old messages. Monday, 4:20 p.m.
I'm now recording after the tone, and I'm done, so I'm going to press 5.
Wednesday, 12:01 a.m.
Testing. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 55, the 27, 48, 262. This is a test of the Vtech DECT, digit 10, or the digital answering system, which is the Energy Star. Ooh, Energy Star. Great. Over and out.
That sounded pretty good. Now let's record a memo. Nope, that's not what I want. I want to record a greeting. Announcement, they call it on here.
To play, press 2. Record after the tone. Press 5 when you are done.
You have reached a local stinky skunk. Record a message or I'm not calling you back.
You have reached a local stinky skunk. Record a message or I'm not calling you back.
Okay. So let's call again and hear what the greeting sounds like.
You have reached a local stinky skunk. Record a message or I'm not calling you back.
Ugh, you stink. That sounded, the outgoing message sounded pretty clear. I want to hear it one more time. Or the announcement, as they call it.
You have reached a local stinky skunk. Record a message or I'm not calling you back.
It really does sound pretty good. I don't know what it is with a lot of these Digitan machines, but the quality of the recording, when you play it back from a different device rather than the unit itself, you know, like for the through the remote phone, it sounds so much better, which is really odd.
You have 2 New messages and 2 old messages. Wednesday, 12:05 a.m.
Ugh, you stink.
Wednesday, 12:05 a.m.
Ugh, you stink.
Wednesday, 12:06 a.m.
This does sound pretty good.
Message deleted. End of messages. To delete all old messages, press delete again. All old messages deleted.
Okay, let's go over to the mains and let's make an outside call. We'll call the Farmer Jones cold line. I want to see how fast it dials. Let me call, I'll pre-dial it. That goes pretty fast.
Hello, Farmer Jones here. Out in the Christmas tree fields with the cropline update.
A little bit of distortion at full volume.
Of November.
And a second. Oh no, that was first though.
Part of our family. This
farmily?
yes,
Oh
autumn
jeez.
season. A
That's
splendid
really
crop
tacky.
it was, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed having all of you here with us.
That's
So
pretty
we
clear.
turn our thoughts to the Christmas tree season. Beautiful as I've ever seen. There was plenty of moisture, no damaging spring frost, and they look happy and healthy. We'll be following many of last year's protocols, having reservations to spread out.
Alright, I think that sounds pretty good, both on the speakerphone and the talk mode. Now I will go ahead and record some testing messages into the testing answering machine so we can see how good the pickup is.
3 new messages and 1 old message. Message 1.
This is testing message number 1 from the Vtech telephone. This doesn't seem to have pretty much any side tone, which is kind of disappointing. I like to have a lot of side tone on the phone, but this doesn't really seem to have much of any. I am currently traversing across the room, and now I am all the way across the room near the water equipment, which of course is the wet. And so if it was still getting a good, clear signal there, then the range is as long as I would expect it to be. Okay, I'm returning back to the studio now, and I'm going to hang up the telephone using the end button, and then I'll call back again and I'll hang up into the base.
Message 2. Message 3.
Now we're going to do the speakerphone test. This is with the telephone on talk. I just switched it over to the speakerphone, and for comparative purposes, I'm speaking at about the same volume and distance as I was when it was on talk. Now I'm going to set it down onto the table, and the telephone has been set down onto the table. I'm speaking right above the phone, about 8 inches away from the telephone. Now I'm going to start moving back away from the telephone. Now I'm about 2 feet away from the telephone, 3 feet away from the telephone. This is about 4 feet away from the telephone. And this is about as far as I would expect it to really work good. Once you get past this range, I think that's a bit beyond what's a reasonable expectation. I'm going to keep going back. I'm at about 5 feet away from the telephone, 6, 7, 8. This is about the 8 feet mark, almost all the way across the room. 9, 10, 11. This is about 11 feet away from the
just fine. I have to say, I'm generally very pleased with the quality of these newer, Vtech telephones. A lot of the ones from the early 2000s, not early 2000s, early 2010s, even into the mid-2010s, there was some decent models. And the late 2000s, that era, a lot of the Vtech phones seem to work pretty well, and the AT&T phones as well, because, of course, they come from the same manufacturer. Okay, that will conclude the testing messages. I'm going to hang up the telephone now.
End of messages.
All the testing messages sound good, so it seems like this telephone is in proper working order, and it seems like it performs quite well.